Alright, so I'm getting ready for winter. I'm going to do the home maintenance, the yearly service for the John Deere mower. This is the home maintenance kit. It has everything that you need, other than if you want to do your transmission, you don't have that yet, but you'll have your oil, air filter, spark plugs, fuel filter, oil filter. We're going to start out with oil. It's the first one I usually get to. So make sure your mower's parked on a level surface. I got it all warmed up. Oil is pretty easy. The oil plug is no tool, it's just this. It'll just twist off, it'll drain into here. I took my mower deck off in the last video, but you can have your mower deck on and still do this. So drain plug, filter, and then refill, just all in one spot. It's pretty easy. So we'll just get started on it. Whew. With the plug removed, you can see the oil is just coming out. That stuff is dark. I loosened the cap just to, so you don't have that suction kind of holding it back. Oil filter. This plastic housing can be removed by loosening that screw. So you can get your hand in there. Otherwise, it's pretty hard to get your hand in there to undo this. I do have a tool with the expanding arms, so I'll use that to get the oil filter off, and it's about time, so we'll just take it off now. So with this tool on there, you're gonna see this just makes it easy. Just one, barely even doing any tension. And there it goes. So piece of cake, and then the rest I'll do by hand. All right, that's where the filter was, the oil filter. Pretty much no way to do it nicely. It's gonna splash into this piece of metal and then splash all over everything else. So a little bit on the cement, not too bad. So new filter, I got the new oil, so I just got a little bit on my fingertip, and then just put it on the edge, and then we'll put the new oil filter on. Here's the drain plug. Make sure the O-ring is okay. It looks good. We'll put that on, and then we'll fill it back up. Takes like about 2 quarts. It'll come up a little bit less. This is my 3rd oil change now, so it'll be a little less than 2 quarts. All right, so I put in about 1.5 quarts to maybe 1 2/3. So check in with the dipstick. Just put the dipstick in, but you don't actually thread it on. So just down till it seats right, and then pull it back. And then you can see I'm just getting in the zone. Not quite at the top, but like right in the middle of it. So that's pretty good. I'll add a little bit more. Or I'll run it first, make sure there's no leaks, and then I'll add a little bit more to top it off at the end. All right, ran that, no leaks. So we'll do the air filter next. It's pretty easy. So you see this little box, it's your filter box. Once again, another thing, no tool is really required to do this. Undo those little hinges. And you just kind of lift up on it. Don't drop your housing. Housing comes out, and then you can see your air filter. And it has a plastic twist screw to loosen up that hose clamp that connects it. See, this is pretty dirty, so you can just twist this plastic screw on the side. Loosens up your hose clamp for you. Almost there. And then you'll be able to get this out. Yeah, there's a good view of it. So with the air filter out, you can see there's a lot of dirt and grime. I'm not gonna use air because I don't wanna like blow it into there. So I just got like some wet rags. That way I can just like wipe it out, but not cause dust to fly where it's not supposed to go. And we'll get our new one installed, and just in reverse order. All right, new air filter's in, nice and clean. Clamp cinched down, you can see the old air filter. Look how much that pre-filter catches. So that's so important. And now after like running it and then letting it sit, and I checked the oil and it was low, obviously, because it's gonna get sucked into the filter and stuff like that. So when I rechecked it, I ended up using all the oil just to get 3/4 of a way up the dipstick. So I ended up actually using all 2 quarts. So I was wrong at the beginning when I said it took less than 2 quarts last year, maybe because I took longer doing the video. All right, next up will be your spark plugs. They're located on both sides of the engine. I already pulled the wire off this one. And we'll do this one for the video, but you can kind of see the orientation, so they're right here. You'll need a 13/16 deep socket in order to get these off. And taking these off shouldn't be too hard. Oh yeah, that was easy. That was nothing. So tightness when we put them in will be 15 foot-pounds, but I don't have a torque wrench that goes down to 15. My lowest one is 20. So we'll just do snug and get them out. But we'll get this one out and we'll get the new ones in. So old next to the new. Look how blackened the old one is. And that's only 50 hours. So new spark plug, gapping tool. The gap should be 0.03 inch, which is right where my finger is. And you just want to slide in there. It should just barely grab onto it, but be able to still slide on and off. Anti-seize to go on the threads. That way it comes out as easy as it went in. Like this one came out like nothing. So we'll get that done. Make sure you wear a glove with your anti-seize. You don't want that on your hands. All right, so we got the anti-seize on there. And then we will just line it up with the opening. We'll just try to get it started on the threads just right. You want to do this with your hands at first because you want to make sure you're not cross-threading it. Switch over to my dominant hand. Maybe it'll go much better. There we go. Yeah. Little tip, use your dominant hand when you're doing this. But you can see, you can just twist it in with your fingertips. It's not hard. Just slides in really nice and you'll feel it, see all the way at the end, and then we'll just use the wrench just to make it like nice and snug, but not too tight. Since I don't have a torque wrench to do 15 pound-feet of torque, I'm just gonna use this wrench. I'm literally just using my thumbs on the end. And then right there, I'm just gonna stop. So that's as tight as I'm gonna do it. So it's just snug. I've never had it come loose. This is my third time doing it on this mower, so it should be okay. This is something that you can recheck though after you run it for like a couple hours. Just come out and check the tightness. And the last thing you're gonna wanna change will be your fuel filter, which here's your oil stuff, and then you'll see your fuel filters down there. Held on with just a couple clamps. You'll know pliers will help with that, get the clamps undone. You don't want to do it if your fuel tank is totally full. My fuel tank is somewhat full, but I put on a lift so that my fuel filter is higher than my fuel tank. That way I won't have fuel just rushing out of it. All right, so the old filter's out, new filter's in. This is definitely a two-handed job, trying to get that in there. So you can see clamps there and a clamp there. You have to pinch those and slide them off. And then with your needle nose, just hold onto the tubing and then just wiggle back and forth as you're pulling to get that out. When this is brand new, you can take your battery out if you desire. You know, it's not a whole lot of extra work. It's just this rubber band holding it in. So, but it's like hard to do, but it's a simple process. And just remember your orientation. There is a flow arrow on here. Can't see it. It's very faint. There, it's right on the... Yeah, it doesn't, you can't see it on the camera at all. You can see it in person. It's right here. The arrow indicates the flow goes from this end to that end. So, after expecting for leaks, you get it started back up. Make sure your fuel filter's not dripping everywhere. Everything seems dry. So, that was it. That's the service. It's pretty simple, start to finish. even with making the video, was only like an hour and 15 minutes. So pretty simple service. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more. I'm gonna get the snow plow or the snow blower on here next.